People ask me all the time on global stages, why is China suddenly filled with so many tech giants? You probably heard the Euro story. China copies, government subsidizes, people work harder, or maybe just luck. But that's not the whole story. Then why is China the only place on earth consistently creating rivals to the giants of Silicon Valley? Okay, let's look at the lineup. When the US has Dell, China has Lenovo. When the US has Cisco, China has Huawei. When the US has Apple, China has Xiaomi. When the US has Meta, China has ByteDance. When the US has Tesla, China has BYD. When the US has Amazon, China has Alibaba, Jingdong, and Pinduoduo. When the US has OpenAI, China has DeepSeek, Baidu's Wenxin, and Alibaba's Tongyi. When the US had Twitter, China created WeChat, the entire digital life in one app. If the old answers don't fit, what's really going on? Let's talk. I'm Yongming Tang. My friend in the West call me Blake. Almost 40 years ago, I was the first student from mainland China to come to the US to study management. But my journey came full circle. I returned to explore the ancient roots of Chinese wisdom, and I completed all of the coursework for a second doctoral degree in philosophy under the guidance of the Eastern sage Dr. Yi Wu. And I labeled my unique work the Tao of Synergy. Today, I stand at a unique crossroads. As a CEO in Asia Pacific for 5 years, and as a professor and consultant and executive coach to over 1,000 companies across 12 different countries. I don't just study theory, I see what works on the ground. If you want to follow my unique perspective, please subscribe and like the button to continue with my weekly episodes. So let's continue. Look closely. This is not about just making another better tool. It's a completely different vision. The West perfected the phone as a device. In China, it became the operating system for life. The West engineered the ultimate driving machine. Here in China, they are building a connected, smart living space on wheels. This is a new way of thinking. And to understand it, we have to go way, way back. Let me tell you about one old idea that has shaped China for thousands of years. It's the idea of Tianrenheyi, that everything is connected. Heaven, nature, human, not as separate things, but as one living, breathing system, always renewing itself. We call this 生生不息. So this ancient wisdom did not just create art, it created an instinct, a way of seeing the world. When I coach CEOs, I often ask a few simple questions. What's the nature of our universe? How do you see your personal relationship within the universe? And why, truly, are you building your business? Their answer often reveal this connected mindset. So here, business is not about constructing a long, towering company. It's about cultivating an entire garden. The technology, the market, society itself, they are all part of a larger ecosystem meant to grow together. You see it in how things are built here. The government is not just a regulator. Think of it as a gardener preparing the soil. Local leaders, investors, and the companies naturally collaborate in these vibrant industrial parks. Everything is linked. And the companies, they live by this. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, European automakers spent nearly €500 million, one thing only, lobbying against new environmental rules set by the government. Meanwhile, the Chinese company BYD did the opposite. They invested over €300 million to work alongside European governments, co-designing their electric car future. The result? While others were fighting the future, BYD was building it. In just 2 years, they became the world's largest EV maker, surpassing Tesla. That's the power of connection. It turns rules into advantages. It turns potential rivals into partners. This is not just a business tactic. It's the core principle. I call it the Tao of Synergy. And from this soil grows a new kind of company, the synergistic enterprise. It's less like a rigid machine, it's more like a living network. And right now, it's diving onto the global stage. Now take this connected synergistic mindset and drop it into the world's largest, most demanding market. What do you get? The ultimate business coliseum. Competition here in China is not just tough. It's a non-stop survive or die tournament. It's not winners take all, it's winners this hour takes all. This incredible pressure does not cross companies. It forges new species. Hyper-adaptive, ruthlessly efficient, and obsessively focused on the user. This is the Tao of synergy tested in fire. It evolves not in a quiet lab, but in the most intense arena on earth. Now fill that arena with sheer unimaginable scale. China has over 10 million tech firms. That's more than the next several major economies combined. In a culture that believes in both and, not either or, this skill acts like a probability engine. Creating giants is not a lucky accident. It's a mathematical certainty. And powering this engine is something deeper, a national spirit. A living memory of civilization that once led the world for thousands of years, and a powerful collective drive to build a new golden age. For the founders I coach, this is not ancient history. It's the fire in their eyes. They are not just CEOs. They are nation builders for digital renaissance. Finally, the timing. China is having its 1980s American moment, but in a digital world. The globe is hungry for integrated solutions. And this generation of Chinese companies was built for the complex, interconnected challenges. So it's not just one secret. It is the perfect synergy. An ancient connected mindset, the world's most competitive force, massive entrepreneurial scale, a civilizational ambition, and a wide open global window. A new playbook is being written. The old logic of dominant and extract is being outpaced by a new logic, connect and grow together. So the rise of Chinese tech is not a mystery to be solved. It's a signal to be understood. In our hyper-connected world, the future favors the synergist. The big question is no longer who will copy who. It's who will learn to build a living ecosystem first. To do that requires synergy, the Eastern philosophy for nurturing connections, and Western science for digitalization. As Sun Tzu in The Art of War said, knowing yourself and knowing your opponent, and you will never be in peril. China spent 40 years learning from the West. The next chapter of global progress will be written by those who achieve a true two-way understanding. The future is synergic. Next, is your company a machine or a living ecosystem?